Jacob goes to Egypt. We've arrived at the end of the musical Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat. I have no idea what comes after this story. I assume this is the conclusion. I assume this is what's drawing Joseph's story to a close. But you never know. Maybe they keep going and you find out what happens after. Maybe this arc is the only thing they really ever taught in Bible school. And I haven't looked ahead. I don't know how Genesis ends. I don't know how Exodus begins. I know certain stories in various places of the Bible. I don't know when they're going to show up. So this is Genesis chapter 46, and the title is, So Israel set out with all that was his. That's right, he's leaving Canaan. He has all his stuff. They told him to leave it all behind in Canaan, and they'll give him a totally new life. It's like Extreme Home Makeover. When he gets to Egypt, they're like, welcome to your new life. And when he reached Beersheba, which we've encountered, I'm sure people will have told me at this point where Beersheba is, but I've just never known. I regularly assume it's a land of beer, which is probably not entirely false. And when he reached Beersheba, he offered sacrifices to God of his father, Isaac. So I was correct. Isaac was his dad. A few chapters ago, I thought I'd forgotten. I still haven't had confirmation on Isaac's dad. I know I'm supposed to remember, but it's like Jacob, Isaac, Abraham. That's where it all really starts, is like with Abraham. At least the parts of the story we care about. And God spoke to Israel in a vision at night and said, Jacob, Jacob. Here I am, he replied. That phrase has been in here, not just the here I am. I know I've talked about that before, but specifically he replied right after it. Here I am, he replied. All of that is one of the most common phrases in the Bible so far. I am God, the God of your father, he said. He's being a lot more explicit than when he was wrestling Jacob in the desert. Their last encounter, I think, was a wrestling match, and now God's chosen like deific form to come down and speak to Jacob, not wrestling form. It kind of reminds me how in Pokemon Go, you can catch normal Pikachu, but there's also Pikachu Libre. If you achieve the highest rank of player versus player in Pokemon Go, that's the Pikachu you get. I've never made it. I'm so bad at player versus player video games. I always liked like a campaign, like a single player story. You know, I was a 90s kid. Grew up with, that's pretty much all you had, apart from local multiplayer. And as a result, I never got good at competitive video games, and I'm bad now as an adult, and I hate it. I get so upset. There's times, like generally I don't get that upset in life. I don't get angry very easily. But when I lose the closest of matches in Pokemon Go, I want to smash my phone. You can't smash your phone. You need it for other things. I am God, the God of your father, he said. Do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for I will make you into a great nation there. Okay, he's reiterating his promises from before. Grains of sand, grains of dust, stars in the sky. We know all of that. I mean, if you don't, he just said he made a lot of metaphors for how many kids Jacob was going to have. I will go down to Egypt with you, and I will surely bring you back again. Oh, so he's promising a return trip. Round trip from Canaan to Egypt. That's nice. That's a nice thing of God to do. And Joseph's own hand will close your eyes. So he's now saying, not only will you get to go live with your son, this is a pretty good promise, pretty rich promise from God. You'll go get to live with your son in Egypt. You'll be in the most luxurious situation you can. And when you die, your own favorite son's hand will close your eyes. He goes, I know which one's your favorite. That one will be the one who closes your eyes when you die. You'll be staring lifelessly at the sky. There will be no animation, no breath, and he will walk over to you and with two fingers or a whole hand. That's what they do in movies. They do a whole hand and they never really touch the face. Your eyes will be closed by Joseph. Then Jacob left Beersheba, and Israel's sons took their father Jacob and their children and their wives in the carts that Pharaoh had sent to transport him. Okay, yeah, I realized the sentence wasn't ending at the carts. I thought we all knew that it was the ones that the Pharaoh sent with them, but they've told us just so there's zero confusion. So Jacob and all of his offspring went to Egypt, taking with them their livestock and the possessions they had acquired in Canaan. Oh, so they don't leave everything behind. They're like, no, screw that. I want double the wealth. I am not taken away from my net worth. Jacob brought with him to Egypt his sons and grandsons, and his daughters and granddaughters. There's a dash. All his offspring. Oh, here we go again. We've already done this, but we're going to do it again for the 7th time in Genesis. These are the names of the sons of Israel, Jacob and his descendants, who went to Egypt. Okay, so that's the qualifier. It's not just all the ones that he has. These are the ones that he went to Egypt with. We're going to list them all. Just we have written record for the people who come after this. Reuben. We like Reuben. The firstborn of Jacob. I'd forgotten he was the firstborn. Reuben's been like a cool guy so far. I'd say I won't speak for you guys. I like Reuben. I think he's been one of the better sons that Jacob had. He made mostly good choices, a few selfish ones here and there, but ultimately did the right thing. The sons of Reuben: Hanok, Palu, Hezron, and Carmi. The sons of Simeon. Simeon was the guy who got bound up. He was the collateral for all the brothers going back and getting Benjamin in order to free Simeon by bringing Benjamin back to Egypt, back when Joseph was playing mind games. The Jigsaw era, I think is what I labeled it. The sons of Simeon: Jemuel, Jamin, Ohad, Yakin. I don't know, sometimes I pronounce it with a hard J and sometimes it's with a soft J. Zohar and Shaul, the son of a Canaanite woman. Yeah, don't forget who he's the son of. The sons of Levi, the guy that I played in Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat. Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. It's like Ferrari, but with an M. The sons of Judah. Judah he played a specific role in the story we just read. I don't remember which things he said. He made arguments for Joseph or someone. And maybe he was the one, I think Judah was the one who said, if we don't bring Benjamin back, you can have me as a slave. Or he volunteered to be a slave in Egypt. I think that was him. Maybe that was Reuben, but I think it was Judah. His sons: Onan, Shelah, Perez, and Zerah. But and Onan had died in the land of Canaan. And so why were they listed? That doesn't make sense. The part at the beginning was these were the sons who went to Egypt. I would think if they were listing all that down, they would just say Shelah, Perez, and Zerah. And then at the end be like, and Onan had died in the land of Canaan. But they listed them first, and Onan. Then they're like, but they died in Canaan. The sons of Perez, I never really saw him. Wait, Perez is the son of Judah. So it's Judah's grandsons. I was about to say, we never really saw anything from Perez, but he was not a major character. He was Joseph's nephew. And the name of I probably wouldn't say full friend, but like acquaintance that I had as a kid, James Perez. He was a cool guy. He was a goalie when I played hockey in high school, but he wasn't my goalie. He was on the varsity team, and I was only able to make junior varsity because I wasn't as good. Hezron and Hamuel. Those are the sons of Perez. The sons of Issachar. Was that one of... That is one of Jacob's brothers, right? We're getting into the background characters. They're not like main characters. They're not side characters. They're just kind of in the background. Tola, Pua, Jashub, and Shimron. The sons of Zebulun. I remember Zebulun because I made jokes about the fact that they started with normal names and then ended up on Zebulun, which just sounds like an alien. And then I found out it wasn't even the same. When I made that joke in some past video, I don't even know what video it was, but I was like, we started with, it wasn't even Reuben. It was someone else's name who I think isn't named here. It was like Adam or something along those lines in terms of, it wasn't Adam, but it was like in terms of simplicity. And I was like, from Adam to Zebulun. And his kids are Sered, Elon, and Jaleel. Isn't it crazy that Elon has shown up here in the Bible? Surely that's not who Elon Musk is named after. It can't be. Why would they name him after Zebulun? So Elon, son of Zebulun, son of Jacob. Who was Elon Musk named after? I don't really care. To be honest. He seems like a terrible person. Not this Elon, the one in real life. These were the sons. Leah! Leah was her name. A couple videos ago, I forgot the name of Rebecca's sister. It was Leah. She was the sister with the weak eyes. These were the sons Leah bore to Jacob in Padan Aram. Besides his daughter, Dinah, or Dinah. I've never known which syllable the emphasis is supposed to go on. These sons and daughters of his were 33 in all. 33. This must be including grandchildren. It is. Okay, so it's all their kids and their grandchildren. So Leah's the one he had a bunch of kids with. Yeah, she bears like 6 children, I think. That's who it was. It was Dan. I said the son of Dan. I was like, from Dan to Zebulun. A very simple one-syllable name, and they're like, we're running out, we got to do Zebulun. But yeah, it turns out it's from 2 different women. So the joke doesn't really work as well. The sons of Gad: Zephon, Haggai, Shunai, Esbon, Eri, Eridai, and Erilai. There's a lot of variance in these names. You tend to think of maybe, I don't know, a few get popular, but there's single syllable, 4 syllable, all different letters of the alphabet. It is a lot of things ending with the letter I. So we have Haggai, Shunai, Eri, Eridai, Erilai. And then a lot of names starting with a vowel straight into some weird consonant. Esbon, Eri, that's one of them. Onan, that's pretty normal. The sons of Asher: Imnah, Ishva, Ishvi, and Bariah. Their sister was Sarah, but it's with S-E-R-A-H, like Michael Sarah, but with an H. I think that's also, I can't remember the name of the bad guy in Mass Effect, the first one. He has a name kind of like that, and I don't remember what it is. Sometimes I don't know why I say things like that, but I drew the connection in my brain, so I've said it out loud. The sons of Beriah. So we're even down to, is that great-grandchildren? Yeah, it's the sons of Asher. Beriah is the son of Asher, so that's a grandchild. The sons of Beriah, great-grandchildren. Heber and Malkiel. It's almost like if you reverse Mikael, but added an L. Malkiel. These were the children born to Jacob by Zilpah. Oh yeah, Zilpah I think was one of the other concubines. One of the servants of one of his wives. I think, yeah, that is what it is. It's the servant of Leah, I think. Whom Laban had given to his daughter Leah. Yep, 16 in all. That's definitely who it was. Laban was the father of Leah, Jacob's uncle. So Jacob marries his cousin Leah. And because he, I guess, wants more kids, or I can't remember what the reason was that Leah ends up giving Zilpah to Jacob, but she does. The women and the men all give women to Jacob. The sons of Jacob's wife, Rachel. Wait, now it's got a colon. Were all the previous ones the children born by Zilpah? Oh, it's recapping it. At the end of the list, then it's telling you who they belong to. So when I said 33 in all, that was all the people I had just read. And then I said the sons of Gad and Asher and the grandchildren, great-grandchildren, those were the, okay. I just had them reversed. I thought we were saying it from the beginning. But now it's reversed it again. It says the sons of Jacob's wife, Rachel, colon, and now we're going to read all of those. That's confusing. We were reading it backwards that whole time, and now we're going to read it forwards. Joseph and Benjamin. Yep, there's the favorites. And it was Rachel that had, who was Rebecca? Oh, it was Rebecca Isaac's wife? Oh, I lost track of the plot. I said that several times in the last video, and I think the video before that. I kept talking about Rebecca. It's Rachel. It's another R name. Rachel is the one that Jacob found more attractive over her sister Leah, not Rebecca. Rebecca's his mom. That's who Rebecca is. So the sons of Jacob's wife, Rachel, Joseph and Benjamin. That's why he has his two favorites, because they're Rachel's kids. And that's why Joseph wanted Benjamin, which we established in the previous chapters. In Egypt, Manasseh and Ephraim were born to Joseph by Asenath, daughter of Potipharah. Wait, what? Priest of On. Who is Potipharah? Because Potiphar's wife was the one that was trying to seduce Joseph before, and that's why he got thrown in jail. Is Potipharah Potiphar's wife or daughter? Is it a relative? And he had children by her? I know we read about this person, because I remember making a comment like, they have to say Asenath, daughter of Potipharah, priest of On. That whole title was in there somewhere, and I made a joke about it. My question is, you can put this in the comments, did he have children with someone related to Potiphar? The Potiphar whose wife tried to seduce Joseph. Is Potipharah related to any of them somehow? The sons of Benjamin. Oh, Benjamin's busy. Bella, like straight out of Twilight. Becher, Ashbel, Gera, Naaman, Ehi, Rosh, Mupim, Hupim. That's the best way to name kids. If I ever did have kids, that's what I would do. Mupim and Hupim. And Ard. 10 children in all from Benjamin. I guess he had a good time in Egypt. No, wait, they're traveling to Egypt. He did all this before Egypt? He's the youngest son, too. These were the sons of Rachel who were born to Jacob. 14 in all. So they're saying it again, because we already said those were the sons of Jacob's wife, Rachel. Now we're saying the sons of Rachel who were born to Jacob. Okay. The son of Dan, Hushim. The son of Naphtali, Jaziel, Guni, Jezer, and Shilem. Honestly, this sounds very similar to the names out of the books from Brandon Sanderson, which I'm still reading. By the way, just an update. I finished Words of Radiance. It was excellent. I read the novella, Edge Dancer. And then my cousin, who has apparently read the whole thing, I had no idea. My cousin's read everything by Brandon Sanderson. I didn't even know he was a fantasy fan. He said I need to read Warbreaker and then the Mistborn trilogy, so I'm reading Warbreaker now. And again, it's a lot of names kind of like this. Well, I don't know. It depends. Some names will be made up. They'll be like Siri and Vivenna. But then, like, there'll be some, like, fantasy name. He's like, Light Song. His name's Light Song. So there's made-up names, and there's clearly fantasy names. These were the sons born to Jacob by Bilhah, whom Laban had given his daughter Rachel. 7 in all. Oh, again, okay, I think that's... Geez, I'm so confused by the way they're writing all of this. So I think earlier, when, like, just now, a few minutes ago, when I said... These were the sons of Rachel who were born to Jacob, 14 in all. That was like an end cap. They were saying that's the end of Rachel's sons, and then they named a few more, and they said those were the sons of Bilhah. The ones we just read Dan, Husham, Naphtali, Jaziel, Guni, Jezer, Shalem, those are all Bilhah. And they're telling us again after the fact suddenly. Oh, geez. By the way, we do get the expression geez from people stopping themselves from saying Jesus, right? I've wondered this my whole life. I've never known. Like people, oh, geez, man. Yeah, that has to come from people beginning to go, oh, Jesus. But then they stop themselves because they're around like family members or like they're not, you're not supposed to say that with like religious folk. So they pull themselves up short. It's funny how like Christians will get offended if you like use God's name in vain, if you like swear with God, or if you say Jesus is almost like a curse. But then they'll make fun of Muslims for not wanting to depict Allah. Like you can't depict like a picture and you shouldn't make fun of Allah. And they'll like make fun of people for that, when they themselves will get upset if you like use God's name in vain. I just always found that maybe that's not you, specific viewer who's watching, but you definitely know people like that. And I've just always found that really hypocritical of Christians. All those who went to Egypt with Jacob, those who were his direct descendants, not counting his sons' wives, numbered 66 persons. It would be crazy to have that many kids. We make fun of people today who have this amount of offspring. It's like newsworthy, and people talk about it all over the country. Or at least maybe it's not like world famous or nationally famous, but if you have like a friend who has a family or know someone with that many kids, it's like everyone laughs about it. It's like, oh, that's insane. 66 offspring with grandchildren. Even with grandchildren, that's a lot. With the 2 sons who had been born to Joseph in Egypt, the members of Jacob's family, which went to Egypt, were 70 in all. 70 people all traveling to Egypt. Or did Joseph go to Canaan and then come back to Egypt? I don't know where Joseph is right now. Now Jacob sent Judah ahead of him to... that's okay. So yeah, to Joseph. Now Jacob sent Judah ahead of him to Joseph to get directions to Goshen. So they're all wandering around, like 66 people, and they're like, where are we? When they arrived in the region of Goshen, Joseph had his chariot made ready and went to Goshen to meet his father Israel. So yeah, Joseph wasn't traveling with them, but he's close. As soon as Joseph appeared before him, he threw his arms around his father and wept for a long time. That's just becoming Joseph's thing now. He's gotten real weepy since he stopped his facade of being stern leader of Egypt. Israel said to Joseph, "Now I am ready to die, since I have seen for myself that you are still alive." So he was just holding on for hope for the rest of his life that Joseph actually hadn't been torn apart by animals. Then Joseph said to his brothers and to his father's household, "I will go up and speak to Pharaoh and will say to him, 'My brothers and my father's household who were living in the land of Canaan have come to me.'" It does make you wonder, if Joseph got this powerful and he was like the head of Egypt, like couldn't he have just gone to retrieve his family at some point? He didn't have to wait for the famine to like go say hi. He could have just taken one of his many donkeys or camels and gone there himself. "The men are shepherds. They tend livestock, and they have brought along their flocks and herds and everything they own." So he's like making a case for them. He's like, they're useful, they have stuff. "When Pharaoh calls you in and asks, 'What is your occupation?' It sounds like the Spartans, sounds like 300. "You should answer, 'Your servants have tended livestock from our boyhood on, just as our fathers did.'" So it is literally just proving their usefulness. "Then you will be allowed to settle in the region of Goshen, for all shepherds are detestable to Egyptians." What a great closer. We're back to the detest. Because, hey, I know I just told you all to move here, but everyone here hates you guys. Not just the fact that you're Hebrews. They also detest shepherds. You're very specific crossover on the Venn diagram of Egyptian hatred. Hebrews no, shepherds no. But don't worry, just say you've done it all your life. Then they'll let you come in. That's the end of chapter 47. We are 4 chapters out from the end of Genesis, just pages away. What page is it on? I'm already in Exodus. I better back up. Don't want to see any spoilers. Oh, I already saw one. Exodus is on page 76. We are on page 69. Nice. I will see you guys for the next video.